Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Two Poor Kids. I'm Liz.
I'm Christian.
And we took a break last week because it's been a wild 2 weeks or more, but certainly it caught up last week.
Yep.
So I was out completely the week before,
And then I was traveling.
and then you were out completely last week. I think like a quick update, and then we're going to drop into a round of Know Thyself today. I went on my first like real girls trip to Disneyland.
Second.
No, I went on a girls trip that was like a night. It was
It was down to California and back.
but it was less than 48
You
hours.
guys got tattoos and stuff.
Yes.
It's a real girls trip. It's just not as long.
I said real. I had a real girls trip, but it was just like a ditty. And this one, I was gone for a significant amount of time from the house, and mainly from Zoe and you. More than a weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I went to Disney, and so we chose not to tell the baby until I got back.
And what shirt did you wear?
And Christian and I, we have like a shirt press, and we get and we do stuff. So we designed a shirt that is from Heated Rivalry. Well, it's a nod to Heated Rivalry. I'll try to post a picture of it when we post this clip. But it said, "Will you go to Disney with me? Don't go to Russia. Come to my house. We'll have so much fun. You'll stay for a week, maybe 2. Hollander, you know I can't do that." And it was great. And so me and 2 of my besties, we all had a shirt and we wore them twice, actually. One person 3 times because then we were there for 4 days.
Wolf.
They didn't wear it for like a full day every day, but they did.
It's a lot of walking.
We actually didn't get too sweaty, which was shocking because we did many miles every day like you do. But alas, it was great. And then I came home and you almost immediately had to leave again.
That's true. Went down to Texas for a week.
Mm-hmm.
I had some tasty barbecue. Don't worry.
Did not go to Disney.
No, there's no time for Disney.
There's also no Disney in Texas.
Didn't even make it to no meetings.
No meetings. So, we
lots
thought,
of meetings for sure. But
yeah, but not like meetings.
Yeah.
So we thought we would play Know Thyself tonight. One, because we've been so far apart. Traveling is kind of hard. We just don't get to connect in the same way that
also,
we do
you
when we're
wouldn't
home.
guess that a 2-hour time zone really just messes up your
It
communication.
really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The whole day is just off.
Yeah, because by the time you guys are driving to go places, I'm full into meetings.
In the morning, and then at the end of the day, when you're ready to go to bed, we're just doing dinner.
Yeah.
Or whatever, getting ready for a shower, and yeah, a whole thing. 2 hours, really. It's tough.
Yeah, I liked the time difference in Israel was all right because it was I'm waking up and you guys are getting ready for bed, and kind of the same thing with Ireland, but Texas.
New York was hard too when you were working in New York.
Yeah,
because of the
Yeah, 'cause
same
that's
kind of
3.
thing. Yeah,
that makes it worse.
yeah.
But being a half day off, that was more manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're home. Glad we're both home. And our oldest is home from college. So Emma's back for the summer. And that also happened while you were away. And so it's just been a busy few weeks. There's been a lot of adjustments. And we've talked about it before, but we have a good handful of games and conversation cards, and I think we've probably lent actually most of them out is what we learned is like some of the good ones that we really like.
We're also prone to just buying complete sets for people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And so we really like the And collection, but but we really like games. So we've been talking about doing board games for a while. We've only played this one time. It was here on the podcast, and it was, probably 6 weeks ago or something. It was a minute. And
A few months ago.
yeah, some amount of time greater than none. And we're gonna play again today.
Yeah.
So we start off playing Know Thyself, which if you're watching on YouTube, or if this is like a clip somewhere, there's like a really fun box that I'll like.
It's so shiny.
It's so shiny. It's so pretty.
They'll go to Disney with you.
I'll go to Disney with you. There's archetypes. There's it's a game about like how well we think that we align with the archetype cards that we're going to end up pulling, and how well we feel like our partner, or if you're playing with your friend or anybody, how well they align. And we're gonna sort of like see how we feel about each other. No, see how we feel about ourselves and how we think that the other people feel about themselves related to whatever the archetype is. A difference that we talked about ahead of this recording, that from the first time we played to this time, is that the rules feel like a little iffy when you're talking about like how do you win a game. And we play a lot of board games, so like how do you win is an important part of the rules. And the how do you win for this one really leans into like guess how you think the other person is going to rank themselves. And we decided to like homebrew or just do the rules of the game of when I do the how do they align. I'm like choosing from my own point of view how Christian is going to align with that archetype and not worry about how I think he's going to rate himself.
Yeah, because the rules on how to play is that you're supposed to put how they align, but the only way that you score a point is if you guess the number that they're going to guess, which is
and we were just
not
like
the same.
We were just trying to win last time, and this time we're gonna, play the game as Know Thyself, getting to know each other and ourselves through each other's eyes. So it starts off with a pledge.
Gotta hold my hand.
Hold on.
That's the rule.
Just hold on. The pledge. There's a whole card every time. Know Thyself is about self-discovery. We can only achieve that if we're prepared to embody our most genuine selves. With this spirit, we commit to the following pledge. Transparency. Our answers will be genuine and aimed at reflecting our most authentic selves.
So no saltiness.
Respect.
Oh, that's the salty one.
We will not judge, and we will embrace revelations with an open mind. We listen and we don't judge. Understanding. We will welcome new and novel insights with sincere openness. Tactful. If we disagree, our conversations will remain positive and constructive. Honor. We will respect each other's privacy. What is shared in the game stays in the game. And with all of you, I suppose. Do you agree?
Yes.
I agree.
And all of that spells out truth.
Truth. Transparency, respect, understanding, tactful, and honor. Truth. The pledge.
Nailed it.
So.
You're player one.
Ready, player one. So I pick an archetype.
Nope. Oh, yeah. Did you?
Oh, shoot.
Pledge
That was the
gone.
pledge. I'd pick whatever this is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And, then
And this
you
is just
answer
a
that.
conversation starter.
That card,
Yeah.
you only answer.
Okay.
Yep.
It's just conversation. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sigmund Freud believed that dreams represent unconscious desires, thoughts, and motivations. Do you agree? Ooh, good question. Sort of. I sort of believe that. Um, I think that dreams represent decompression at the end of the day. Are you trying to read it? I see you like scoping out. I think our dreams often represent like a way to decompress at the end of the day. And that there is some bit of our subconscious that might be in the daydream, in the future thought, in the whatever it might be, that unconscious desire. I think that there is truth to that. And I also think that like sometimes we have a really stressful week coming up or a really hard day and our brain is just trying to like make sense of that. I also find like a little like woo woo as it is, but like I think dreams is the thinnest place where if ever I'm going to be visited by somebody nowadays that's no longer on this earth, it's probably going to be like dream walking for me. Thanks, Sigmund Freud.
Thanks, Sigmund Freud.
Okay. This?
Yep.
All right, the archetype. The hero. A fearless heart and a noble spirit. You step forward to take on challenges with courage and honor. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that, but it's cool. So then we rate ourselves. Keep them upside down, and then we rate our partner. Fearless heart and noble spirit. You step forward to take on challenges with courage and honor. Okay.
Now you pick which to reveal, and then you.
And
and
then
Yep.
and then I explain it with a story or example or whatever. I'll do myself first, and before I actually reveal this, I'll say I didn't know this until right now. I agree that I agree with the traits of this card as a 5, that I align with that. I am having a hard time with the idea of the hero wording of the archetype, and I think that I probably need to think about that. Because I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be the hero. Like in my thought, I'm not like, ooh, I'm gonna be the hero and step in and be like, da 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 da, savior's here. Then that gives me a little bit of the ick. However, I had to like pick up the card and be like, okay, yeah, but I really do like align with this idea of, like, I almost any day of my life, I think that I am intentionally disrupting harm, or speaking up in spaces that I'm unbelievably uncomfortable to speak up in. Like recognizing that I have a sense of privilege to be able to do this, and to challenge and to attempt to change for people. Like that feels really true to me. That feels very, very much of like who I am. But I have a problem with the hero word. But the rest of the words attached to it are really wonderful. The end.
I get a point because I put us. I put you as a 5.
Mm-hmm.
It can give you all the ick that it wants, but it's just a fact. You are the person that champions for everybody and calls people out and does all the hard things every day.
The hens is it's a friend group of mine, and it is very candidly, I'm just the dragon, like that. That's just now that's who I am in the group. I'm just the dragon, and that's what I think of. This card is like, oh yeah, no, I'll just be the dragon. Rawr.
Rawr.
Okay, for you, what's funny that you were like, that's just who you are. I'm like, yeah, that is who you are. I said 5 for you, and I think that you have a lot of the same qualities that I do, but I think that they show up differently. I think that the way that you're in a room is the same but different. I think you have a like a really steady and stoic presence in so many spaces where people are just like energy will gravitate towards you, where people will be like check in for your opinion, where I'm a little bit more abrasive, where I'm just like ah. That was probably really great audio. Thanks everybody.
A little ASMR.
Yeah, for whatever that was. But I could not be more proud of who you are, and I think about sitting up on the couch, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but like sitting up on the couch and you're explaining something to me in your workplace and about like the kind of like person you are and man you are that like disrupts harm. And that I just like feel so proud that you're a safe man, like that you're a safe person, but like, yes, a safe man, because it was no small part this week where we talked about, which I didn't even talk to you about because you were gone and there's not a lot of time, but there's not enough time to talk about this on the podcast, but like women know deeply the difference between like a grope and a graze. And
Did I
that
grope or graze somebody?
you did not grope or graze somebody, but it came to a realization this week that it doesn't matter. You would be a man who would recognize an inappropriate graze and an inappropriate grope, and some people don't recognize that like I'm grazed every single day inappropriately, and it's just a matter of fact. And like if you could see that or know that, you would probably break somebody's arm. But like it's just kind of a point of fact. You're just a safe guy. I get a point.
Hey.
But why?
I took one of those. I took the Myers-Briggs personality test a while back. Mm-hmm. I'm the teacher. The teacher. There's a third one. I can't remember the third one at the moment, but I'm the teacher and the champion. And I believe that to be true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I embody all the things that say Leo. Up until even today, when you came back from your hen house, and it was just recognized that.
Oh, right. That like in the hen house, we had talked broadly, but very specifically of like, oh, if somebody is acting out like a partner or an ex or somebody just misbehaving, but like in this specific case, it was like a male type person, that like Christian's the person who will disrupt their harm.
I will disrupt the harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody we should look out for? I'm not going
after them, but
anybody we should be keeping an eye on if we're gonna be fucking around. Christian's gonna help us find out.
Yeah.
That was the sentiment.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm that person.
That's true.
All right.
Next.
Round 2. Can you name a place that has impacted you deeply and explain why?
Yeah, I wonder where this will go.
Me too.
I have like 2 places in my mind that I wonder if you'll pull from.
I think that every major place that I've been has impacted me deeply. Even Port Angeles, and I fucking hate Port Angeles so deeply. In fact, all of Clallam County, it just fucking sucks.
I don't feel that way, but it is true for you.
Yep. It eats souls. I'm gonna go with Ireland.
What's funny is those were the two places that I was like, I wonder which of these.
I was also gonna go with Portland, but I think that Ireland is like a pivotal like piece in my thought process. I don't know if we had talked about this part of my story, but I like spent the majority of my life thinking I was half a native. And that was like a key piece of my personality, and I'm not at all, even a little bit. And
Because of a 23andMe, you found that out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife bought me a genetic test.
He wanted to know.
That's true. It just didn't turn out like I was. And then I found out I'm 90% Viking. And it was like, click. It just made sense. And that was in January. And then I went to Ireland in August.
Last year. 2025. No,
No, 2 years
2024.
ago. Yeah, 2024. And that's when everything made sense to me. Like I just, like it was very, it felt good to the point that I had like I went back home through the Chicago airport and had a whole fucking meltdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I met some very cool friends over there.
Check out Valhalla's Silver
Yeah.
if ever you get a chance.
We went to a lot of cool places like the Hill of Tara and Carlingford and
We saw so many castles.
so many castles. And it was just like the most peaceful spiritual place that I've ever stepped foot in. And I went to fucking Israel. And that was also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was specifically thinking about the Hill of Destiny and or Clallam County.
Yeah. Fuck that place.
Tell me an archetype.
Oh. Avoidant. Adverse to conflict. You sidestep issues, hoping that time will smooth things over. Maintaining this short-term peace can lead to long-term complications.
This game also says in the rules to like try and control your face so that the other person doesn't know what you're thinking. It's a pretty picture, the avoidant one. I'll try and bring it closer to the camera for anybody who's watching on YouTube or wherever, but it's like walking through a cave. It's pretty. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I went with 2.
For yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that we have a core value that we don't like, and I don't let fear control my actions and our actions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I take that to a little more of an extreme sometimes. And I didn't put 1 because I can still avoid some stuff for sure. But I'll sit on it for a little bit, and then I'll work on it until I figure out. Because sometimes sometimes I tend to be I'm a very empathetic individual. So sometimes I understand that I have a hard time sorting out my feelings from other people's feelings that are in the room. So, like, I will typically try to stop myself and then address it and figure out where I stand and then discuss it or deal with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I actually said 3. I think that when it comes to our friends and when it comes to work and when it comes to us, you're a 1. Legitimately. I think that when it comes to family stuff or things like grief, you're like a 4.
That's
so
weird.
so
Sounds like I averaged a 2 there.
I don't know. I chose 3. I think this last week you took like a really big stride and like not avoiding some grief because you had some grief that you chose to walk through, even far away from home. And I think that maybe it's not quite fair to say avoidant for some of the like larger family things. But it is like a long process.
It's complicated.
It is complicated for sure. It's not me pushing you to do it any faster. I don't think that you should do it faster. But it's also really easy, and I agree with, to forget about the people who are not, or the things that are not like right in front of us
Or
straight away,
speaking into our
or
lives.
speaking into our lives. And for good reason, right? Like, I don't think that avoidance is necessarily a bad strategy. But when it comes to work, when it comes to our friends, like, avoidance is not where it is. Then when it comes to our 5 closest people, no way, Jose. Me.
I give you a 3.
Okay.
I think that we, like I said, I think that we have that we don't let fear control our decisions. I just think I take it a little more extreme sometimes. Like, I'll go fucking fight somebody, but
Funny. I give myself a 2.
nobody gets points.
I think that I think that avoidance in most situations gives me anxiety. I think that like I can feel it in my body, that, and I think to a fault, that like I want to go and like and I find like conflict to be like the other end of conflict to be unbelievably soothing. And I want to be on that other end of conflict so bad that I oftentimes just like cannot wait. I cannot wait for a conversation to happen. We talk about like thanks to an old boss of mine, but like 3 hours or 3 days. And like sometimes I don't even want to wait 3 hours. Like if I'm annoyed, if I'm pissed off, if I don't agree with something that feels really egregious, like I just want to go and like get to that now and be like, hey, stop. Or something wrong has happened. And that's not everything all the time. Otherwise I would have given myself a 1. Yeah. I like that. I kind of like that we didn't get a point, and that we both think of ourselves as like a little bit more conflict resolution-y than the other one.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. My little card. Has there been a time when you changed a deeply held opinion? Ooh. Can you describe it? Yes. No. Just kidding.
That That's not honoring the pledge.
I know. I said just kidding. I distinctly remember being 16, 17, 18, 19, and just thinking that the world was very black and white in decisions of like good and bad. And that like good people don't do this, or good people don't do that, or a good decision is this or that. And I think like how we show up in relationships, I had some ideas in my relationship at that time as to like, oh, I would never do this, or I would always do that. And then I found myself in a space where like I made questionable decisions about like things that I thought I would never do. And I realized like through that and in the time, and it was like such a hard fall, is that I had put this idea up on a pedestal about like who I thought I was, or who I thought people were, or what a moral compass really was. And the crash was terrible. Because what a revelation for me to just be able to believe that I was a huge piece of shit, and then to sit there and live in that. And then the way that really shifted for me in sort of like all things, and this was not the only thing that like made this shift, but it has really brought me to what now feels like a what's the actual wording it says, a deeply held opinion. And now I have a deeply held opinion sort of like anchored to the opposite of that. And it's that like I now reserve the right to change my mind for the rest of my life, because I had this like very stagnant point of view about what right was, or about who I was, or who I was going to be, or who somebody else was and who they were going to be, and that it was simply a formula that made up, if you do this and this and this, then you're a good person. It's just not real. And then I've spent 20 years working in a space where I see that sometimes people are doing everything that they can to be like the best version of themselves, and that there are like extenuating circumstances that are far beyond any of my recognition. There's just like so much that's happening, so many precipitating factors, that like how I can't like how stupid of me to think that the world is so thin, that like I'm so thin, not I have no depth to think that things can change, that people can change, that there isn't a good reason for something, even if it's not acceptable to somebody else. That was a long answer, but it's true. I think that it's like fundamentally changed who I am. All right. The cod. Oh. The rebel. Rallying against societal norms. You operate outside of the mainstream, forging your own path and resisting forms of control or conformity. What's kind of funny is like, I just said that mainstream was kind of bullshit, but good for me. Oh, man. This is tough because it's like societal norms shift and change everywhere you are. Rallying against societal norms, you operate outside of the mainstream, forging your own path and resisting forms of control or conformity. Oof, tough. I forgot for a second how the scoring on this worked. I was about to score the opposite way.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot for a second how scoring worked.
You were trying to guess what I was going to guess.
No, I just was thinking that like low numbers were closer to being aligned with this versus not. I'm going to say you first. I think that you very much fall into a rebel mindset. I think that you don't have a 5 on this because we don't go to Burning Man. We're currently living wildly on the grid, even if the goals are to live more off the grid later. But I was just like, well, the people who are actually saying fuck you to all of the societal things, they're doing a little bit more. However, I would say that you are constantly in question of why things are the way that they are, and you're constantly like pushing back on the why, and that if it's just like society being like get in line, you're like fuck you, I'm a punk, there's no way I'm getting in line, that line could lead me to slaughter, there's no way, I'm not an idiot. So I think you're pretty well aligned.
For all of those things, for all of those reasons, I gave myself a 3. Because I have all those beliefs, and I do push on the why, but I'm fully into capitalism. I have an electric car.
That's fair.
Like, I don't go to protest. Ever.
Is that true? You've never been to a protest with me?
I've not with you, no. You went to the Women's March. You went to the
Oh yeah, I go out.
the No Kings thing.
I go out. I do
out.
things.
Now, I do find different ways to... I have supported in the background, but like, I know that most of my actions are, how do I save my small group now? It's not my small group.
It's pretty large still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give myself a 3. I think that I am less rebellious than you in a lot of ways, even though I do the things that you're like, I don't do those things. But I think about we often talk about like protest. I think is a good one, and like the way that we like see change happening, and how like the civil rights movement needed both Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, right? Like that both were mandatory. And so when we talked about like the murder of Renee Good as an example, and the need of like what happens next and how do people respond to that and what type of support is needed, it's like we had lots of discussions about like, and how do we change, or how does society change in that? And I think that I am like closer to pacifism than you are.
Yeah.
Yes. Hard yes. But also like here I am sitting in my house, driving my car.
Yeah. Your 2026.
My Forester, my
Yeah.
Subaru Forester. Yeah.
The highest trim model.
Sitting in a Portland gear shirt here in my podcasting station.
Yeah.
We
have a lot of privilege.
And right, lots of privilege, and I question all of the things all the time. Like I'm so unbelievably skeptical about everything all of the time. I'm never not questioning like who's funding the thing or giving money to something or right like we have road mics, so like having to do research to make sure that like road isn't contributing to something that I don't want them to, having to leave things like Amazon behind because fuck that, or sadly Spotify. So sad to leave Spotify, but like all of those things, yeah. And so,
But you can still find the podcast on Spotify.
you can find the podcast on Spotify and Apple and wherever else. But both podcasts, all podcasts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you and I rebel differently and similarly. And that you are closer to pacifism than I. And that like
and that we
was,
both broke up a fight at Warped Tour.
Yeah. But I grabbed that guy by the neck.
I boxed out like nobody's business. We had matching bruises though.
Yeah.
My friends reminded me of that this week.
Yeah, and then on the other side, like I was like I don't do the protests, but like I was 3D printing protest gear to go to places that needed it.
Yeah.
And I gave you a 3.
Oh, you got a point.
Yeah. For all the reasons that I just said, is that we're just different. But we are very much in our house that we bought.
Yeah. Sitting with all
our
sorts
cars that were
of
barked us.
societal privilege.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And yeah, I've had a lot of discussions about this card, and it kind of relates to what you talked about in your card, is that I was supposed to be this person.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't. And that was also a hard thing for me to swallow. Yeah.
Like
I even got my anarchy tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really love you not being in prison right now.
Damn, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that at some point in my growing up, the family and the white picket fence and the cars and all that has become more important at the end of the day. So I find other ways to contribute that have less risk. Because I'm not willing to
go to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done my jail time.
And the other thing that we've talked about, right, is like, especially at like protests or events that could like turn violent, is that you'll find yourself caught in the middle of it.
I will be the person that
right,
punches somebody.
You won't.
I will
right,
catch
you
a shot.
won't. You won't walk away once the chaos is broken out.
Yeah.
It's like if you are there and it turns chaotic, like you are going to be there in the midst of the chaos, trying to make sure that
I'm going to go stop the assailant.
Yes.
From doing more damage at the cost of my own life, because I know that I'll be that person.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't do those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will hurt a person in a rebel flag or Confederate flag.
Yeah. All them Proud Boys.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to the top of Hen House, right? Like, who's the person? Mind your business. Mind your manners.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do one more?
Yeah. Oh.
Feelings.
Your house catches fire.
You mean that privilege we were just talking about? Oh, shit.
Your house catches fire. You could choose to save one item other than your phone. What would it be?
Oh, interesting for you.
Yeah. So here's a fun thing about Christian. I like fancy things, but I'll burn them.
But he doesn't actually care about him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he doesn't hold sentimental value
Yeah.
to almost anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea of what I think it would be.
Well, now I'm interested what your idea might be. But I think that because I know that you and Emma have sentimental value to certain things, it would either be if I was in the moment, probably anything off the drum wall. I think that I also would want to. So Emma made this little couch with the three of us sitting on it that sits above our fireplace.
Very cute.
And my battle vest. Because that thing I do have sentimental value.
That's not what I thought.
Oh, what'd you think?
I thought that you would grab the Family Time book.
I didn't think about that one. That's true. We have an adventure book that has like pictures that we've been collecting.
Yeah.
I did forget about that book. That's a good one. Yeah.
But also car keys? I don't know.
And my iPad.
Oh man, look, see? Now he has 6 things. The car is basically full.
I think I can grab all those things on the way out.
You have long arms.
Yeah.
Archetype.
Oh. The idealist. Driven by optimism, you strongly believe in the inherent goodness of human beings and the possibility of a more just future.
I don't think we're going to score the same on this one. Oh, man. That's funny. Driven by optimism, you strongly believe in the inherent goodness of human beings and the possibility of a more just future. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. If this turns into a clip, somebody put in the comments what you think, or if you guessed right on any of these. Ooh, this is tough. Tough.
It's a hard one.
For you.
Yeah, that's the one I'm having a hard time with.
For sure. Read it again for the audio.
Idealist, driven by optimism. You strongly believe in the inherent goodness of human beings and the possibility of a more just future.
Yeah.
We're going to get yours out of the way.
Yeah.
I gave you a 4.
Oh, man, I was just about to turn mine to a 4.
Would you like to change it?
No.
Oh. I think that you do have the idealist vision. I think that you are always pushing for a more just future, and you have consistently have this belief that you can, if people could just learn right and understand, then everything would be different. You even spend a lot of time teaching people
that exact
pronouns.
Skill. Yeah, that exact skill.
Yeah.
I actually said 5. And I almost went down to 4 because I was like, but no, I think 5 is fair for me. I do not think that everybody in the world is or will be good. I do not think that like peace on earth. I don't think that that's a real thing. That's not where idealism exists for me. But in the you strongly believe in inherent goodness of human beings. 100%. I think that everybody has the capacity to be good. I think that that kindness breeds kindness. I think and I know on on a neurological level, when you smile at somebody else, they will smile back at you. It's infectious. That's just a fundamental truth. And the possibility of a more just future, absolutely. Like a just future, peace on earth, no way, no way in hell. Ego is too strong. But like, do I think that it is possible to treat people with kindness and to disrupt harm? That, people can just have safe places to be, and to use their names and their pronouns, and that just is a matter of fact. Yes. Yes. Period. What about yourself?
All right. So before I flip my coin, the reason that
Do you want to change it?
No, I'm sticking with mine. I think it's
Okay.
on. But the reason that we are probably both having an issue with my scoring of an idealist is I believe in the idea of micro idealist areas. I believe that there is a reason that people live on the West Coast. I believe that there's a reason that people live in the South. And people are taught to hate.
Mm-hmm.
And people that hate do damage to other people and teach them how to hate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if people find a good path, then they're able to change. And I also fully believe that science doesn't give a fuck about your feelings.
What's so fun, listeners, is that he said the exact same thing that I did, except for he's talking in the negative connotation and I'm talking in the positive.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Is I said basically the exact same phrase, but I said like kindness breeds more kindness, and you said hate breeds more hate. Both are true, for sure. But I think that this is why, like, obviously you did not score yourself a 4.
No, I gave myself a 2.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I also gave you a 2.
Yeah, I think that for me, I think that the people running things need people to keep them down. And most of the time people are sheep and they just follow what any AI made up media is going to tell people. And even before AI existed, people were still... I spent a lot of time watching both sides of the news. And first off, I don't believe that the two-party system works for a country that is the size of many countries smashed together.
Yeah.
Several countries fit inside the state that we live in.
Right now.
Yeah. So the reason that there's so much conflict and division in the U.S. specifically is because we have taken all of those people and forced them to try to think one way. And that's just not going to happen. I fully believe in the pendulum theory that we go all the way to the liberal side. We're going right back to the conservative side. It's not... I don't believe in the current way that things operate. And while I have changed my views slightly of protests and like the idea that protests could be impactful.
So statistically, they're absolutely impactful. And for a numbers guy, numbers don't lie.
We're fighting the same civil rights stuff since the 60s. It's 90 years later, or fucking 60 years later. People still don't have rights.
Yeah, but I know.
Yeah. The women's movement went back many years this year.
As the person sitting with a vagina, I'm innately aware.
Yeah. Because people are not good.
Yeah.
When it comes to their profit book.
I gave you a 2 for all of the reasons that you're currently showing. And because I think that the piece that I have that you don't have is that I have a fundamental belief that all people strive to be or think that they are good,
I
whether or not they are, and that I think that you believe that nobody walks around thinking that they're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Like, I think that you believe that nobody's like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit and I'm fine. Minus a few of you who are well aware and you know who you are. But like, I think that the difference is that, and you kind of said it right. Like, if I can, if not myself, here I am being the hero, or hopefully tons of other people can find the right conversation, the right frequency, the right accountability, because I think that there has to be accountability to poor actions, that we will see a more inclusive space. I think that we have seen that. I think that like I see the positive change that has existed, and although currently there's like a detrimental, harmful, like murderous backslide that has happened, all of that change still existed. And people, myself included, have like benefited from that change of good neighbors. And you, although I think would never watch somebody in harm be like accept that they're in harm's way and just like walk away, you could never. Like, that's just like fundamentally, like going back to the rebel card, not real. You could not watch somebody getting punched in the face or dragged off, or somebody just simply like slandering somebody's name when you know that that's like not real. You are not a person who can fundamentally be like, not my business, not my problem. That's not real.
I stand up in those instances,
For sure.
and other people do not stand up in those instances.
I 100% agree. And like I think that your faith in humanity, like your confirmation bias comes much quicker than mine. That I think Clallam County is a great idea, a great example too, right? Like all the things in today's conversations is that you're like, here's an entire county which you have vast amount of experience in to show you that it's all bad. And I grew up in the same county and have a vastly different experience than you, and plenty of it bad. But
I
like
think similar experience for sure.
similar, not the same. And we have a fundamental disagreement about the county. Yeah, I think two makes sense.
Yeah.
And which I
And
don't
somehow she won the game. It's fucked up.
which I don't think means that you don't want to believe this. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's
Like, I
the
think
part
you-
that's hard.
Yeah,
is
I think that like you want to believe this, and if this was to happen, if the world did become a more just place, you'd be like, hell yeah. But you also are like, nobody's gonna catch me wrong, right? Like, nobody's gonna catch me. So, like, all of the signs show that people are gonna continue to breed hate, and so like I'm not gonna anticipate that hate is gonna change because I can see it right in front of me.
And instead of allowing that to put me down,
Yeah.
I choose to not breed hate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that I am like an idealistic realist, and I think that you are just a realist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I win. That was fun.
I like the game.
I do too. I'll like, for anybody listening, if anybody listens, we still learn stuff about each other all the time. Like, we've been together for a decade.
Yes.
We have.
Yeah.
It's May.
Oh, yeah.
10 years ago, you sat on a beach in the dark, scared of a cougar, and told me that you loved me.
No, that was later.
No,
The camp out is in June.
It was right before.
The camp out's in
Maybe
June.
a little bit, but it was right before we went to Alaska. And we spent the summer in Alaska. It's summertime for WSU. Math be mathin'.
The camp out is still in June.
I don't know what to tell you. The receipts are there.
We only spent quite a bit of time in Alaska, but we didn't.
It doesn't matter how much time we spent there because it happened before, so we know when the before happened.
I can't compete.
TBD. Anyways, 10 years. We're still learning things about each other all the time.
Did you learn that I wasn't an idealist today?
No, not at all. I think that clearly, we know each other pretty well. But that was just to say that, like, these conversations are also conversations that if we have had, we've never had like this.
Yeah.
And it's like interesting to see the viewpoint and to think about it in a different way, to like sort of work our brain in a different way, thinking about, I don't think that we've ever sat down and been like, oh, so if this is what idealist means, let's score against each other and see, like, who do we find? But which is why I just laughed. Like, immediately we both knew that we were at like opposite ends here.
Yeah. I think that the reason that I'm a champion is because I'm not an idealist. Is that I believe that I can change my microenvironment. And I believe that if I act a certain way, the kind of way that I respect the person that's looking back in the mirror, that I've changed my world.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't believe that the larger one is gonna. I think it's just gonna go back and forth.
I've worked in social services in some capacity, and like in a very human-based environment my entire career. And so even like Christians in my like working world is so different. Like the way that we engage with people and see people in our like 9-to-5 jobs, vastly different. Although Christian is definitely spends all of his non-work time like of service, so it's not like he's without service work. But I think that that's also just like an interesting dynamic that absolutely has to play an influence into how some of these are. Because I haven't done a Myers-Briggs for a really long time. I think I was like the executor or something. But
that makes sense.
Shock. But like the idea of champion, like I can see why me being an idealist makes me a good champion. Different kind. Different.
Yeah.
But like also a lot of people think that Christian and I, and we hear this all the time, that like we're like the same. That's not, like, it's not true. Like, but we do work very well together.
Yeah.
It's balance. Is like different things for the same reason, or different things for not the same reason. So, Know Thyself, fun game. I think we'll continue to play. The And collection is also pretty good. There's a few others. If you play any of these games, or you make these games, or you have any other sort of like 2-player couples games, especially if they're conversational or not games, conversational cards, let us know. Like, we would love to check some out, try some out, tell you about them. We could play them here on Two Poor Kids. And It's going to be a long week, so I'm going to go to bed now.
Yep.
All right, everybody. I hope you had a great week. I hope that you sort of played along with us and you thought about some of these things for yourself. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Fish hands? Is that penguins?
I don't know.
What does this mean?
You keep doing it.
Bye.